The floor is yours.
Perfect, thank you. Good morning, Chairman Hashem and members of the committee. My name is Sarah Anderson, and I serve as Associate Director of Criminal Justice and Civil Liberties at the R Street Institute, a nonprofit, nonpartisan public policy research organization focused on accountability, public safety, and limited fiscally responsible government. We have a particularly strong stake in building a criminal justice system that improves public safety while also ensuring that the justice system operates fairly, efficiently, and in a manner consistent with constitutional principles. A key part of that effort is ensuring that we hold offenders accountable for their actions, yet still allow for successful rehabilitation and an opportunity to truly leave mistakes behind when that is earned. For these reasons, we are closely following the legislature's consideration of Senate Bill 140 and appreciate the opportunity to participate in the conversation today. Second look policies have gained increasing attention across the country as policymakers examine the long-term consequences of sentences imposed many years, often decades earlier. These policies create a structured process that allows courts to reassess whether continued incarceration remains necessary to protect public safety and serve the interests of justice after an individual has served a substantial portion of their sentence. Importantly, and as noted earlier today, second look mechanisms do not guarantee release, nor should they. These policies simply provide judges with the ability to review whether someone who has served a specified number of years in prison and who has demonstrated rehabilitation continues to pose a meaningful public safety risk. Judges can then weigh that evidence alongside the seriousness of the original offense and the perspectives of victims and affected communities. We are encouraged to see Vermont taking this initial step toward considering whether this type of policy makes sense for its population, both inside and outside of prisons, as well as what terms, parameters, safeguards, and practices will work best for the state. Second look policies are grounded in a simple but powerful proposition. People are capable of change and rehabilitation, and our justice system should allow for and encourage that possibility where appropriate. Public safety data consistently show that criminal behavior tends to decline sharply with age, and individuals who have served long sentences are also statistically among the least likely to reoffend after release. These realities raise important questions about whether sentences imposed many years ago always remain aligned with today's understanding of rehabilitation and public safety. Second look mechanisms provide a way to thoughtfully incorporate those insights into our current justice systems. They allow courts to consider an individual's full record during incarceration, including participation in programming, disciplinary history, evidence of personal growth, and preparation for reentry, when determining whether continued incarceration is still serving its intended purpose. These policies can also help correctional systems operate more effectively. Long-term incarceration is extremely costly, and aging prison populations tend to drive correctional spending even higher due to increased healthcare and housing needs. In Vermont, incarceration costs are estimated to exceed $135,000 per person annually, and those costs rise significantly as individuals in the system age. Providing a judicial review process for people who have served very long sentences can help ensure that limited correctional resources remain focused on individuals who pose the greatest public safety risk. Additionally, the possibility of sentence review itself can improve safety inside of correctional facilities as well. When individuals know that positive conduct, participation in programming, and preparation for reentry may be meaningfully considered in the future, incentives to engage constructively with the system increase. More broadly, this discussion is about whether our justice systems should include a tool to reassess sentences when decades of evidence suggest that continued incarceration may no longer meaningfully advance public safety. As Vermont considers Senate Bill 140, this conversation represents an important opportunity to explore what a thoughtful second look framework could look like for the state. We appreciate the committee's willingness to examine these questions and to consider how policies like this might balance accountability, public safety, fiscal responsibility, and the recognition that people are capable of meaningful change over time. Thank you for your time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Sarah.